Alright, welcome back everybody to Operation Doomsday. This is KMT, USA turn 19. Italy didn't have anything to do on its turn since Rome was captured. I don't think there's any Italian units anywhere. So they will just surrendered. So looking good for the Allies at this moment. We'll just continue playing until we either call it or roll the dice in. Russia or the USSR does definitely have opportunities to get some points back for sure. So we'll just see how it goes, especially with their CCP as well. Anyway, we'll go into the KMT turn. KMT has $2, won't be spending anything, and will be making another attack into Qingtung just to see. And real quick, Owlwolf's video hasn't been posted yet as of the time of this recording, so if there's any housekeeping that'll have to be taken care of afterwards, but I imagine there's probably not going to be a whole lot, with the exception of I did find the 17th Air just sitting in A22. I put it here based off what we had discussed as our plans. I assume to use those units attacking Rome, especially since it's a bunch of strategic bombers, and I don't see where there's been any additional strategic damage anywhere, except for maybe this airfield. So I'm putting it there for now, but it's potentially somewhere else for sure. Anyway, we'll get into this KMT attack. So we have 2 infantries at 1 in green, and a Japanese militia at 2 in black. Alright, so that's going to be 1 infantry retreats. And we'll just roll this to see what happens. And that's going to be a 1 infantry that gets killed. So the Japanese will keep Qingtung. KMT will collect $3 since the Burma Road is reopened. And we will move into the USA turn. I am thinking about a couple of different moves there. Alright, anyway. USA Tech, so I did roll for heavy armor on Dice Maiden, since that's the only one at stage 3. It succeeded at an 11, so USA did complete heavy armor. We have 6 other techs to roll for. Those will be anti-submarine warfare, airborne doctrine, advanced subs, logistics, long-range air. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other one we were rolling for, don't even know what we don't have yet. I guess is advanced max. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tech rolls left for us to roll. There they are. And it's going to be a fail on those 2, a success on airborne doctrine. Another fail on long-range aircraft, fail on advanced subs, and fail on improved logistics. So we got 2 out of 7 this turn. For buys, we are going to be purchasing 6 heavy armor and a jet fighter. That's going to be the majority of our buy. We then have the militia for 2. And I'm trying to think the rest of the buys based off the moves that I do. Thinking an attack Cochin China just to get rid of these transports. That is probably going to leave me with no more advanced land units in the Pacific. I've got a couple of infantry at Caroline and Guam that I could have. We will do actually. Yeah, we'll do that. So we will do a militia upgrade, and then we will do 3 factories. 3 minor factories is what those tanks represent, since I have proof construction. Though I did not look at if I wanted to lease at all. So let me look at that real fast. Apologies. I think I probably will lease the FEC if I had to guess. Give them a little bit more firepower. So take away that. Take away that. Do a fighter for me. Or at least not a fighter. It would just be $2 I need to get rid of. Let's do I have a bunch of advanced mechs. Advanced artillery, 5 advanced artillery, and just 1 infantry. So we'll get rid of one of our heavy armors. Replace it with an infantry, and then we will go ahead and get a jet fighter back for us. Alright, so our buys are going to be 5 heavy armors, an infantry, a jet fighter, and 2 militia, a militia upgrade, 2 minor factories, and loan leasing a fighter. So combat moves, we are going to attack Cochin China. So these 2 transports are going to pick up all 4 of these units and drop them into Cochin China. Our fighter and our attack bomber are going to move the 1 movement to Cochin China to join that attack, and then have the 1 movement to go back to the carrier. Our attack transport on the Caroline Islands is going to pick up an infantry and an advanced artillery, and it is going to move 1, 2, or actually, it's going to move 1, 2, 3, so I can have it in the season with the rest of my fleet, and drop those units off into Cochin China as well. We do have 6 amphibious assaulting units, and we have 6 heavy cruisers that are going to be shore bombarding. So put those back up there, but that's what those 6 heavy cruisers are doing. The submarine has 4 movement. It's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 and raid in that sea zone. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're going to throw my coastal into this sea zone as a raider, and we're going to throw one of these subs into that sea zone as a raider. The other subs are going to raid in P32. And I think everything else is non-combat movements. Right, and then for the Atlantic side, no combat movements there. We are going to strategic rocket this railroad border between Alsace-Lorraine and Bavaria. Germany doesn't have radar, so that just hits and deals 1 damage. And then we are going to declare war on the Soviet Union. This bomber is going to fly 1, 2, 3 over the canal, 4, 5 into Warsaw, and then it will move 6, 7, 8, 9. Or I don't have long range aircraft. I forgot that. Okay, never mind. I think we are still going to declare war on the USSR. The Strat bombers won't be carpet bombing Warsaw unless I can find a shorter path. But I think it takes 5. Regardless, I guess I could land it here, but that's a little dangerous. So instead, this strategic bomber is going to be carpet bombing Paris. Maybe. 2 heavy armors, 2 panzers, 2 advanced. Got 1 advanced, 2 panzers, a heavy there. Yeah, we'll carpet bomb Paris. And the strategic bomber in northern Italy will go 1, 2, 3, 4. But it only has 7 movement. Ugh, not having long range aircraft has mixed me up. So we will not be declaring war on the USSR. And we will instead just be declaring the strategic bombing of Paris with those 2 heavy Strat bombers. Both will probably go back to land in northern Italy. Our 2 coastal subs are going to come down into A10, and they will raid the Germans there. And all that is non-com. Alright, so we'll do our Pacific side first. So we have 2 raiding submarines, both at a +1. We'll have ours be in green. So 2 sets of these rolls at a +1. It's going to be the full 2 damage to the line. So that's 2 from Germany, bringing them down to 59. We'll then do our strategic bombing of Paris, which is going to be 10 dice at 2. And that is going to be 3 hits there. Don't know if you'd want to take the panzers before the advanced artillery or the advanced artillery first, but we will circle that. Right. 3 hits. So, much better strategic bombing than when we tried on Rome last turn. And then we will do that's an interesting thought. We will do our Pacific ones, so we'll do our raiding first. So we'll raid in P34 at an even because Japan does have radar, which is going to be 3 damage for the first sub. So then we'll come to these 3. It's going to be no damage, no damage, and the rest of it. So that's going to be 5 from Japan, bringing them down to 47. And that line is closed since CCP has reheat. So now we can attack Cochin China. So we have a attack transport with artillery at first strike, and we have 6 heavy cruisers bombarding at 2 first strikes. So Cochin China, I do not believe is a mountain territory, based off the look here. Because and I'm talking clearly as Cochin China, I don't think is. So that's going to be our advanced artillery in red at 4, and then our 6 heavy cruisers coastal bombarding at 2s in orange. that is going to be 1 shore bombard hit. So that is going to be the militia that dies to that. And so then we, or the USA, is going to have a paired infantry at 3. 2 infantry at 2, a attack bomber at 7, and a fighter at 6. So attack bomber, paired infantry, regular infantry, and fighter. And that is going to be 1 hit for us. Alright, so that's just going to be Japanese infantry down. And then Japan has 5 infantry at 4. And that's going to be 2 hits for Japan. I have amphibious doctrine. Pretty sure. I hope I have amphibious doctrine. Yep. Alright, so that's going to be 2 infantry down for me. And then for round 2, so we still have our attack bomber, fighter, and our paired infantry. And now we have a light tank at 1, since this is a jungle, and a medium tank at 4. Alright, so we'll just do this in hit order. So light tank at 1, medium tank, or light tank at 1, paired infantry at 3, medium tank at 4, advanced artillery at 4, our attack bomber at 7, and our fighter at 6, and our attack bomber at 7. So light tank, paired infantry, artillery and medium tank, fighter, attack bomber. And that is going to be our light tank hits. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, so that's going to clear it. And then Japan gets 4 infantries at 4 back at us. And there's going to be 2 more hits that we take. That is going to be the light tank and the infantry. So we will liberate Cochin, China, that we only have a medium tank and a advanced artillery there afterwards. I think that's the end of our combat moves, so we can move into non-combats. Our planes here are going to land on the carrier. It's their only landing spot. And then can't blitz into that. We don't have any airborne either, so that should be fine. We won't go into port. I do need to look up how many points of damage a heavy dockyard can repair, or a major dockyard. I think it's 5, but we will see. So major dockyards. Oh, there it was. Major dockyards can repair 8 points per player turn. That is a lot. Does require a supply path to home country. Or if you're aligned with the nation that possesses it, so we can use it. And it should for sure have both a supply path to its own home country, and if it needs to be my home country, it definitely has a supply path either way. Alright, so all 4 of our capital ships get repaired. We are going to take our regular transport here, pop a advanced artillery and a regular infantry on it, and go 1, 2, 3. Drop those off into Formosa, where we will go in port. We are going to we'll just pop those in port there. Let's see here. Japan does have one major aircraft. I guess the guys will be on Formosa. So we'll do that. Yeah, and then I made the mistake of thinking heavy battleships only have 3 movement when they actually have 4 apparently. When they have a major port upgrade. So this battleship is going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, and going in port in Caroline Islands. And then this heavy battleship is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and go into port at Wake. Instead of this infantry getting picked up from Caroline Islands, it's going to stay there, and as it goes by Guam, it's going to pick up an infantry from there. Alright, so that's the Atlantic side. On the Pacific, or that's the Pacific side. On the Atlantic side, going to be taking on 5 of these guys, dropping them off somewhere. Oh, so there's this airborne here. Yeah, so there's going to be a bit of housekeeping from the British turn. Sorry, I kind of just went straight into this. These transports are going to move I'm going to move to northern Italy for now and go into port there and put all these dudes here. We are going to need an army marker for this. So I'll put that there. And then these dudes on it. This transport's going to come around and go into port as well and drop off its advanced artillery. The Strat bombers are going to come down and land in northern Italy. The jet fighter is still there, of course. Destroyers are going to stay there. This destroyer is going off escort duty since the British were kind enough to kill that sub for us. It's going to move 1, 2, 3 to A27. Our seaplane is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wow, it doesn't have the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto Gibraltar. No airborne for the Germans, so that should be fine. And then I think everything else is good and well. Our strategic naval movement for the turn is going to be these guys. Strategic naval moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Gibraltar. Alright, so at this point we should be able to build. So we'll do the Atlantic first. It's going to be 5 heavy tanks and infantry into northern Italy, thanks to our factories and improved factories that we have. I feel like there's an airfield. Just thinking about repairing. Oh well. And then we have this all in the Pacific. So we'll delete the medium tanks. Putting in a militia on Formosa. Lend-leasing the FEC fighter to Calcutta. Gonna put 2 minor factories and a militia upgrade. Onto the Caroline Islands. And then we will roll for these 2 transports in port. So on a just roll for those. That's going to be one is captured, one is scuttled. That's not what I wanted copied. So that'll be there. And then we'll collect money. We're at 66 plus 12 is 78. So we'll just collect that. And then at this point we will roll the in-game die. It was requested to do it on Dice Maiden, so we will do that. It will be an Allied victory. Except it was a 12 that was rolled. So we will definitely be having a turn 20, unless the other guys all concede. So we will pass it back over to the vet for Germany turn 20.